welcome my horn dogs to the mother effing Tricannon. This guy is going to be deep dive so hard we're going to be inside of these 3 holes tonight for sure. That's all I can tell y'all. Because this guy is complicated as crap to talk about and to do a deep dive on because he's so gosh darn weird and has grouped attack and all of his abilities they're kind of lying to you about what they're doing. So we really had to like think about what's actually happening here and look at what's happening here rather than believing what they say is happening here. That being said, let's talk about the cost. First of all, it's an expensive tower, almost $1,000 for the original 4th tier Tricannon. Freaking ridiculous, right from the get-go, bro. So, holy crap. First of all, I just want to mention really quickly, to understand the numbers, we should understand how the Tricannon works. And the Tricannon is, of course, going to shoot out 3 cannonballs per shot automatically. He's going to attack each unit with 3 cannonballs if he can. And then if he can't attack a specific unit with 3 cannonballs, he's going to attack as many units as possible with those 3 cannonballs. So as soon as these guys walk in here, you're going to see he doesn't just attack this guy. He's going to attack all of them at the same time. He's going to go, just throw out 3 cannonballs to 3 different units. So that's actually cool. If I wanted the Tricannon to work that, to do... I would want the Tricannon to attack individual units like he does right now, which means he works the way I want him to, which is nice. You know, I mean, right from the get-go, that's nice. We like that aspect. So, when we do our damage here, I want you to understand that this is the average damage per cannonball, not per triple attack. Alright, it makes sense for our numbers in the future here. It would get more complicated if it was per overall triple attack rather than per cannonball. That being said, when we move to the speed, it's going to attack 20 times per minute, or rather 1 cannonball per second, which is again just kind of fun. Shoots out a cannonball every second, or 3 cannonballs every 3 seconds. Okay? That is going to lead us to the amount of units hit. So this is an artillery tower. Artillery towers don't just hit 1 unit, they can attack multiple units, all with the same cannonball. So not only does it attack with 3 different cannonballs, all 3 of those cannonballs can hit multiple units. So for example, we could, in theory, have those 3 cannonballs each hit 3 units, for example, doing 9 total hits out of the artillery with 1 single shot. So it is, again, something kind of interesting about this tower is that we can do grouped damage, but many group damages on top of each other, kind of stacking. So, anyways, just wanted to throw that out there real quickly before we go to the next section here, which is the amount of units hit. Now, I started off with 3, not with 1, because we're shooting out 3 cannonballs, so we should, at the very minimum, hit 3 units per shot. That's really all we're saying right now. We should hit 3 units per shot. We won't always hit 3 units per shot, but it's likely that we probably will, unless we miss in some weird way or some guys die while we're, like, doing things, right? Like, just right there, we hit 1 guy. It's very unlikely to happen, but it can happen. So, we can hit more than that, though. Maybe we could hit 4, maybe we could hit 5, maybe we could hit 6, maybe we could even hit 7 units. If we hit 7 units, that means each cannonball is, on average, hitting 2.3 guys. Each cannonball is hitting 2.3 guys, or 1 cannonball hits 5, and then 2 other cannonballs hit 1. So there's ways to think about it for sure, but as far as I'm concerned, the Tricannon is obviously kind of a range. It's going to be how many units are you hitting, and that amount of units you're hitting is really going to decide how much damage and how efficient you are. So then we get down to our damage per, I don't know what that number is. I think that's per cannonball damage per minute. And that leads us to what our efficiency is if we hit, again, those 3 units with our 3 cannonballs. This is an average hit that we're expecting to come out of this tower. This is our efficiency. 1.71, 1.76, 1.94, and 2. Now, just like that, it's actually, I don't want to say awful, but not very good. Pretty bad, just general. Like, that would be not the way I'd want to play with the tower at all. I would want my tower to do significantly more damage than that. Otherwise, I don't want to say we're as bad as a Royal Emissary at this point, but we don't get the bonuses of the Royal Emissary, and we're doing significantly less damage, and we spent a lot of money on it. So, whoa. If we only hit 3 units per cannonball shot, this guy's pretty freaking bad. So, I was thinking maybe we should do, like, oh, crap, if we had an efficiency of 1, that would be awful, but you could do math easier if you have an efficiency of 1. And if we hit 7 units. Now, this is where I'd like to see it. You basically have to hit about 7 units per cannonball shot to make this guy worthwhile and actually make sense in your games. It's the basic way to understand him. If you get less than that, maybe about 6, you're probably on par with a lot of other towers, but but not great. If you're doing any more than that, 9, 12, 15 units per cannonball shot, like, heck yeah, you're doing freaking amazing, man. Heck yeah, if you math that out, double the 7 for 14 units, that's an 8. 8's great. 8 is great. But I was like, what am I probably hitting? I don't know. I just decided to go for a 4 as well, just to give myself a little bonus here, and that's probably like the average I'm probably hitting. I don't know exactly, but if I had to guess, that's probably the average I'm hitting, and that's probably the efficiency that I would actually give just the regular old base Tricannon. Right around 4 guys per attack, which is an efficiency of between 2 and about 3.37. Okay. Does that mean this guy's awful? Well, I should always mention that whenever I was playing with the Tricannon, I would say that I didn't like the 4th tier Tricannon, but I did like a 4th tier Tricannon with abilities. So do the abilities make up for it? Are the abilities absolutely freaking fantastic here? And we need to talk about those things so we can actually get the true power of the Tricannon. Well, great question. Let's dive deeper. So we're going to leave the efficiency of 4 up here. Again, I don't know if 4 is better than 3 or more accurate than 3, but I like the number 4. It just feels right. We're on average, we're hitting per cannonball 1.3 units on average. So, anyways, let's extrapolate this out even further with some talk about the left-sided ability. So, the Bombardment. The Bombardment's going to happen at the same speed every time. Okay, but we're just going to throw our units up in the front here and block these guys, because this is artillery. This guy's going to wipe us out real hard. So if we get a Bombardment, though, the damage is going to go up over time. You're going to see that happening here. With more cannonballs shooting out. So as far as speed goes, we're shooting out every 16 seconds, which means we're shooting out 3.75 times per minute. The amount of balls that come out has been randomly counted. I should note, randomly counted. So I tried to go into VLC Media Player, I recorded each one of the Tricannon abilities shooting out cannonballs, and I specifically counted how many cannonballs I thought came out. It was very difficult to actually look at that happening, so VLC Media Player does not like it when I try to frame skip for a lot of frames. It just kind of like ends the video. So anyways, this is what I counted. It might not be accurate, just 100%. I think it's pretty close. I think it's probably pretty accurate, but I cannot say 100% that it is perfect or anything like that. Absolutely not. But if each one of these abilities shoots out 8 balls, 15 balls, and 20 balls, we should note that each one of those balls is going to do a certain amount of damage. That damage is going to be 36, 48, and 60 on average. And we could then extrapolate out, we have to talk about the cost real quickly with that thing. And that we can extrapolate out what the total damage would be if, on average, each one of these cannonballs hit. Now, you can watch it in action here. We sort of aim a little bit with our Bombardment, but it's definitely not like a, oh yeah, we're absolutely hitting every single guy every single time. It kind of like aims it a little bit, shoots out in sort of a funnel type area. So I said that obviously each one of these cannonballs can hit multiple units too. So if we could hit multiple units, but we're kind of inaccurate, I said, well, let's just pretend like we kind of average out. We hit 1 unit per cannonball. It could be more, it could be less, so you can kind of do your math on that. But if that happens, this is what it ends up being. The efficiency ends up being 4.3, 6, and 6.9, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Those are great numbers as far as I'm concerned. Bombardments, bro. Woo! If we're actually hitting, boy, howdy, that's good. I mean, look at these cannonballs just flying all over the place, doing mega damage, killing all the units. It's great. Freaking great. Especially when you get multiple kind of on the screen at the same time, and you can kind of get them to not be on the same schedule, makes it even cooler. So Bombardment, as far as I'm concerned, seems pretty solid across the board. All right, again, you have some inaccuracy here and there, but it makes up for it with the amount of cannonballs that it shoots out that can also do group damage. So we're probably going to lose here soon, so I want to get over to the next area here. I'm going to leave that efficiency on the screen for a quick second. We're going to talk about the next thing. So the right-sided upgrade here is going to be the Overheat. Costs 150, 150, and 150, and it has a different attack speed based on how many levels you go up for. That attack speed, again, was counted by me. That's, I believe, how many times it's going to attack per minute. 1.6, 2, and 2.5. Oh gosh, I think we're going to lose, man. Ugh, how annoying. So that is going to lead us to the damage. The damage that makes happen is actually probably one of the most difficult numbers in the entire game here to calculate. Like, straight up, I'm not even messing with you guys. This is a very stupidly complicated number. And we got to start over to show this thing off. So for the Overheat to make sense at all, I used the numbers that they gave me. But the numbers aren't what you probably think they are. Each scorching area deals 12 true damage per second, duration is increased to 12 seconds. Now, when you say 12 seconds, that is the amount of shots that we actually shoot out that are hot. So, believe it or not, the first level is going to shoot out 2 red hot shots. The second level is going to shoot out 3 red hot shots. And the third level is going to shoot out 4 red hot shots. So it's 2, 3, and 4. Okay. That kind of makes sense. So, anyways, this is where, again, things get freaking wild, dude. I'm so sorry that I tried to do this to you guys, but I'm going to show you all the numbers right now. I'm just going to show them all. I'm going to try to talk about them really quickly. So, this is using their numbers to try to make sense of what is actually happening here. So the very first number I want you to look at is the damage at the bottom. That is each scorching area deals 12 true damage per second. Now the fire length is the amount of time that the fire stays on the ground for, which is 3 seconds. So if we have 3 seconds of damage times 12 damage per second, that means we get 36 damage per overheat attack, basically. Or per overheat cannonball. Now, that, again, you can kind of see in action here, but of course we're on a heal, so the heal is the same thing as the fire, so the fire ends up doing weird things, it ends up kind of tying out, so it's goofy. But we have to multiply then the fire length times the damage times the cannonballs, and that is going to give us our actual amount of damage that we can do with this guy. Okay. I know, it's probably a little funky at this point. You're like, whoa, 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 we're multiplying a lot of weird things here, Chris. Yes, we are, indeed. We're just multiplying things, because it seems like it's fun. So anyways, if we show the amount of shots that we get out of it, which is 6, 9, and 12, which is also the uptime, because we shoot out 2 shots, 3 shots, or 4 shots, times 3 cannonballs, ends up being the uptime here, which leads us to a percentage of uptime, which doesn't really matter as far as my calculations are concerned. Percentage of uptime is just a fun little number here because it lasts longer and has a shorter cooldown, which means the amount of time that it's actually active is quite often. In fact, if you get up to a 3rd tier, half the time you're shooting out these fiery cannonballs, but at the base end you're shooting out only about 20% of the time, or 16% of the time, which just seems kind of crazy. So I don't know if that really matters here, but anyways, I came up with a total damage number, which is 345, 648, and 1080, and that means the efficiency, if these guys just hit 1 unit, would be 2.3, 2.1, and 2.4. Now, I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but to me it makes sense. Okay, and I think making sense is something that's kind of important. Now, that is if we hit 1 unit. If we hit 2 units, and we burn those 2 units with this attack, now we can get even more damage out of it, or more efficiency out of it. So if we hit just 2 units per overheat shot, we're already kind of in the green, in my opinion, which is anything above 4 is good. Good news, above 4, you're having a grand time. So, to me, is that going to happen every time? No, but if you already have a bunch of grouped units and everything, that is easier to happen than our previous numbers, which again, I'm going to bring back up over here, and slightly better than if we got an efficiency of about 7. If we attack 2 units with this guy, it's going to be about a little bit better, just a smidge better, than attacking 2 units with a regular attack. Per shot. Per cannonball. Alright, if you guys are confused, believe me, I completely understand it. I completely get it. So let's try to break this down for you really quickly. Tricannon is only really good if you're using the left side of Bombardment ability a lot. You can get some pretty good overheat action as well if you use that guy in combination, but really the overheat and the 4th tier tower are fairly similar in the amount of overall damage you're going to get out of them. So this guy is not like a necessity to go for, but if you're going to get it, you probably want to go up to the 3rd tier because it's slightly better than the other tiers. But the key is the Bombardment. The Bombardment is the way to make the Tricannon a really, really, really good tower in your game. Look at the efficiency of this. 4, 6, and 6.97 is one of the best I've ever seen in the entire game here. That is, again, assuming we're getting about 1 hit per cannonball, which we can have more than that happen, especially if we get a big chunk of group guys right here. So that is my general understanding of the Tricannon. If you guys feel like I deep dove him real good in here, make sure you press that like button for me. And if you feel like I made some mistakes, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And, of course, have a super duper delicious day.